Welcome back to Game Galaxy, and today I'm talking about Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage for Sega Dreamcast. Berserk is a popular manga and anime series that I still need to get into and watch and check out. But Sword of the Berserk came out in Japan December 1999, and here in North America we got it in February 2000. And I only have the disc here because this belongs to my brother, and I know he wants it back. So now that I finally beat it for this video, I will be giving it back. But this is a great hack and slash video game that it hasn't aged the best, but I still have a little bit of fondness for. This game is set between volume 22 and 23 of the manga, so if you're a fan of the Berserk manga, this would definitely be something to check out as it adds some story points and has some revelations about Casca, Gatsu's companion. The game begins with a young girl named Rita, who is a traveling street performer getting attacked from bandits. Rita is caring for a simpleton type of character and trying to protect him. Everything seems hopeless until Gatsu shows up and rescues them. After they talk for a bit, Rita says they're both heading to the same town and that Gatsu should come and see them perform. This game has grade A, year 2000 video game voice acting.
But look at her. She's pretty hot. We can take her with us too for some fun later.
Yeah, you're right, buddy. Hey, you! Over here!
What the?
Damn you! You're gonna die for that! Darn it, punk.
This game has a lot of familiar voices, and the first one I'll point out is Puck, your fairy guy. Listen to him talk.
Listen, big man, if someone is thanking you, the least you can do is listen. And while you're at it, we need food and some money. Some fine wine will do nicely for me.
Did that voice sound familiar at all? Well, that's because it's voiced by Cam Clark, who's done tons of different credits. But the one I'll point out is he's the voice of Ryudo from Grandia 2. Once Gatsu, Puck, and Casca reach the town, they learn that there is this disease traveling around that transforms the afflicted into a Mandragorian. During Rita's street performance, the dumb simpleton guy turns out to be a Mandragorian, and the townsfolk start to be very violent with him. This causes him to go berserk, and he transforms into a full-fledged Mandragorian monster, and Gatsu has no choice but to step in. Overall, gameplay hasn't aged the best, and it's a little clunky. You just repeatedly slash through guys until you build up a meter that turns Gatsu into Berserk mode, where you are invincible and the screen goes red and your speed and strength have been increased. This is a great way to just cut through large hordes of enemies. After the first fight, Gatsu makes his way to the castle where he meets the king Balzac. That's right, I said Balzac. That's the king's name. That's kind of a goofy name. But there Balzac says he's looking for a cure for this Mandragorian disease. And take a moment and listen to this voice. This is the second notable voice, and see if you can recognize where this voice is from.
I wish to prevent further spread of the disease, you see. But the monsters fought back ferociously. I've never seen such carnage.
Super memorable voice, right? He's done tons of things, but the most notable to me is that he's LeChuck from the Monkey Island series. The graphics of this game aren't anything special. They're very standard early Dreamcast type of graphics, and most of the game is very dark. There's a lot of cutscenes that drive the story forward and some QTE sections. The interesting thing is that if you fail any of the QTE sections, it usually will just change the path of the story, not make you fail entirely, making this game a multi-pathed game. Gatsu also has tons of other weapons like his arm cannon, throwing knives, bombs, and his arm crank that shoots out arrows. I've always loved that. One of the things that drew me into this game is how absurdly large your sword is. It can cause you problems sometimes if you're in a tight space, because if you hit a wall, you'll bounce back off the wall, interrupting your attack. So sometimes it's best to use other weapons. This game did include a few larger-than-life boss battles that predate God of War and were very impressive in terms of scale. The music isn't anything special, but it was composed by the same composer who does the music for the anime. The sound is perfect as you slice through the monsters. It just gives that wonderful slicing through flesh sound. Sword of the Berserk is a pretty short game, clocking at around 4 hours, so I recommend checking this game out for fans of Berserk. There was another Berserk game after this one, but it only came out in Japan in 2004 for PlayStation 2, so I never got to try it. Sword of the Berserk is not a perfect game, but I just have fond love for it because it takes me back to those early beginnings of Dreamcast, and any game that can do that is just awesome in my book. So I want to thank you so very much for watching, and I gotta get going to the mailbox because I've got to return this to my brother.